My previous autism video helped me accept what everyone else already suspected, that I am likely on the spectrum. So maybe I'm a little predisposed to notice it in other characters. Yet, nevertheless, I may be overthinking it. But is Wednesday Addams on the autism spectrum? I am not a medical professional, just a YouTuber with modest research abilities. So this will not be an in-depth analysis of autistic traits and behaviors. Just a layman's attempt at understanding something I relate to. And to clarify an update in the language surrounding this topic, Wednesday would have fallen under the now unused term of Asperger's, which is now simply referred to as high-functioning autism spectrum disorder. And to simplify things further, I've broken down the traits into 3 categories. I'll focus on one at a time and run through the entire season, highlighting every example that I feel supports my theory. The categories are emotional, private, and social. Emotional relates to overlooking the emotions of others, or just not understanding them, including their body language or attitude. It also relates to a tendency to portray very little emotion, to never smile, sometimes to the degree of speaking in a flat, robotic manner. Private relates to a preference for a rigid routine in her everyday life, with a strong dislike of change, especially unexpected, and also a hyper-focus on an interest or hobby or project, to the degree of noticing patterns and details that most others cannot. And social relates to general social awkwardness and being unsure of what to say, and a tendency to verbalize internal thoughts and processes. Also a habit of dominating conversations with her own interests, all to the point of being the gravitational center of the universe. With all that established, let's dive into the emotional category, and let me know in the comments if there are any examples that I overlooked. I found one example of when her voice breaks from her robotic tone, when the prospect of staking out the cave filled her with excitement, and only 2 examples of an actual smile, like after the opening prank. Then when Uncle Fester arrives to kick off Act 3. So I argue that every other moment she's on screen is evidence of these 2 traits. Okay, now let's run chronologically, like I promised I would. The show opens up with Wednesday's dismissal of her brother's pain, and again with her dismissal of Enid's anger for taking over the room. She fails to understand the gravity of Enid's fear and despair, then openly declares the danger that emotions in general pose. Wednesday fails to accept things hurt feelings, offering a horrible apology, and admits to not understanding whatever the hell is up with Tyler now, going so far as to push the blame on him or the complexity of feelings. Her doting father isn't even saved from her deep discomfort, shaking him from this to this in a matter of seconds. Morticia confirms this behavior is well entrenched in their home life, which is again hammered away at by the gothic gumshoe herself. Wednesday remains cold and silent when Tyler seeks emotional validation, and even snaps at Enid about the snood, rejecting any importance it might hold to her friend. She dismisses any lingering resentment about the trouble she caused Enid, just as she dismisses any logic to why anyone would find her a desirable partner. Which brings us to the end of Season 1. So let's go back to the beginning and start again with a focus on the private category. Wednesday maintained straight A's across 8 curriculums in 5 years, a testament to dedicated study habits. She compartmentalizes her time to balance multiple current hobbies, and benefits from previous hobbies and skills that she balanced in at some previous time. Dr. Kinbot explains how effective compartmentalization is to her goals and, her wider education. because Wednesday has previously mastered lockpicking and mastered enough Italian to read a dry instruction manual. When she was 10, she devoted time to thermal and mechanical energy conversion, and at some point balanced in some self-defense. We witness another current compartment of her time, rehearsing a rock and roll cello, and the benefits of whatever sharpshooter training she put herself through. Wednesday refuses to help Enid on account of her rigid routine, then flexes her previous training in song, archery, herbology and nature, and cryptography and code breaking. At some point, she balanced in time to learn the art of escape, and she threw in some conversational German too. Yet more lockpicking expertise, and yet another language, a dead one this time. And we cannot overlook the time when she studied human biology from the inside out. Her rigid and effective study habits reward her with criminology as a personal discipline, and she reveals how approving her parents were about any area of study she took to. Wednesday rejects a change in her dating habits with a vague yet telling excuse, then admits to her goal of beating Mary Shelley at her own game. And finally, she trained herself into an anagram phenom. 2 categories down, 1 to go. Are you still with me? Because now let's finish up with this deep dive with the social category. Wednesday provides a voiceover, so there's no need to vocalize what's privately on her mind. Yet she periodically does, like during her introduction to Nevermore, with Gomez playing interference. Then she freezes up when confronted with Enid's colorful cheer, until she's given an opening to say something morbid and obviously rehearsed. Wednesday vocalizes a fun fact that she has a favorite murder, which really was not the direction Miss Thornhill expected things to go. She takes a swipe at gender roles almost as a reflex or defensive posture, then strong arms Thing into her escape plan as soon as they reunite. Wednesday freezes up when Kinbot zeroes in on Morticia as a core wound, and then promptly bails on the meeting altogether. She fixes the espresso machine as a quid pro quo for a way out of town, then vocalizes an insult best not spoken when surrounded by pilgrims. Wednesday is useless at cheering up Enid during her crisis, and finds herself at a loss for words when Tyler is genuinely nice. She's rendered frozen yet again in the presence of Enid's happy nature, then freezes up again when Weems calls out her visions and their connection to Morticia. She turns her club hunting assignment into interrogation funtime, then openly admits to using Enid as a pawn in her master plan. Wednesday insults Eugene much harsher than she likely meant to, and she just cannot resist turning everything into something morbid to match her style. She freezes up when Enid tries for an emotional connection, and even escapes the quad when too many people wanted to be a part of her big victory. Wednesday pushes Xavier to discuss the mystery of Rowan, then freezes up yet again when faced with the prospect of a group photo. She recruits Eugene as a pawn immediately after referring to him as a little brother, and invades her dorm room with a graphic murder board. Wednesday talks over Enid's discomfort until she faints, again, then freezes up when she's trying to act natural, creating this totally not suspicious posture. She vocalizes yet another remark that might have been better as a voiceover, and does that again when even Normie Tyler inquires about the dance. Wednesday barrels through Tyler's attempt to talk about his feelings, then takes over the hive with her murder board. She diverts back to her mission when Eugene tries to get her to go to the dance, and freezes up at the prospect of normalcy for a school-aged girl. Wednesday takes over the parent-teacher meeting with her monster hunting accusations, then takes over the therapy session by dragging up the murder accusation against Gomez. Sheriff Galpin does put her in her place, but just prior to doing exactly what she demanded. Then she vocalizes a secret behind Pugsley's back, kinda undoing her progress with him. She again vocalizes a thought best left to the voiceover when she enters the crypt, and subverts her birthday party into another arm of her investigation. Wednesday openly admits to her self-centric worldview, right before turning the conversation right back to her newest riddle. She freezes up in the presence of Xavier's painting and obvious feelings, then makes a reference to her snood that outcast Enid definitely should have understood and been offended by. Wednesday tricks Enid and Tyler into helping her escape Nevermore's lockdown, and refuses to call Sheriff Galpin despite the understandable objections. She completely dismisses Enid's pain and fear and betrayal, then diffuses as much of Tyler's romantic hopes as possible, with another thought that she probably should not have vocalized. Wednesday entirely ignores Xavier's draconian imprisonment to extract even more information from him, then mutters her odd connection to Laurel Gates in another moment that she probably should have kept to herself. And that is every piece of evidence I could find that might point to a high-functioning autistic spectrum disorder diagnosis. Of course, the only way to know for sure is by professional assessment, which I plan to do myself in the eventual future, thanks to seeing myself reflected in these videos. Hopefully, I don't find a therapist that Wednesday has already broken. Of course, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Maybe Wednesday's demeanor is no more than a byproduct of her spooky upbringing, and maybe she's no different than any teenage girl, despite her detective tendencies. But I kinda like my theory better, so I'm rolling with it. Until next time, keep reading between them lines. If you enjoyed this theory, you should totally check out my Leon the Professional video, where I examine the evidence that Leon Montana might be on the spectrum as well. And please, take care of yourselves out there, and I'll talk at you next time.